War has always been built on the belief that the quiet ones don't matter. But what if the one person everyone ignored turned out to be the only one holding the power to change everything? At a forward operating base buried deep in the desert, the morning begins not with gunfire or orders, but with silence. Inside the hangar, a lone woman moves with precision, sleeves rolled up, eyes down, tending to the heart of an Apache helicopter. To most soldiers, she is invisible, just an armory tech, another cog in the machine. No one bothers to learn her name. No one imagines her story. And yet, hidden on the sleeve of her worn uniform is a patch black and gold, ancient and classified. A symbol so powerful that when the wrong pair of eyes finally notice it, the world around her will never be the same. Welcome to Chronicle Hub, where we bring you untold stories that shake the walls of history and fiction. Today, you'll discover the truth about the woman who lived as a ghost among soldiers, hiding in plain sight until the day her past came roaring back to life. Her name is Zephyrin Thorne. But to those who knew what that patch meant, she was never just a maintenance technician. She was something more, something far more dangerous. Dawn breaks over the base. The desert air still holds the chill of night as Zephyrin Zeh, to herself, though no one here dares speak her name, pushes open the hangar doors. She moves with discipline, every step measured, every glance controlled. Before most of the base even wakes, she's already pulling her toolbox closer, setting her hands to work on the 30mm chain gun of the AH-64 Apache that looms before her. Every piece is disassembled with a calm that borders on ritual. The sound of clinks and clicks fills the air, like a quiet hymn to steel and survival. She doesn't waste motion. She doesn't break rhythm. But always her eyes track the edges of the hangar. Watching, waiting, listening. You see, invisibility isn't an accident. It's her craft. The perfect disguise. Soldiers pass by her without a glance. Pilots march past without a word. To them, she's as much a part of the hangar as the tools on the wall, or the warning signs painted in fading red above the fueling station. But invisibility only works if no one notices the details. The scar on her wrist, the patch on her sleeve. The scars and patches tell a story none of them are ready to hear. For 7 months, Zephyrin has worked here, just as she worked before at other forward bases, always moving, never staying, a shadow drifting through the gears of war. And in each new place, she builds the same disguise, the quiet woman, overlooked, unseen. But masks slip when the world presses too hard. And on this day, when a decorated pilot named Major Tavish Blackwood rushes into the hangar, late for briefing, the mask begins to crack. His stride is confident, his uniform littered with patches that speak of victories, missions, and respect. But one glance at Z's rolled-up sleeve freezes him mid-step. His eyes widen, his jaw stiffens. His helmet nearly drops to the floor. Because what he sees is impossible. A black and gold insignia, faded with time, but still unmistakable. He stares. His voice lowers to a whisper no one else can hear. That patch? Is it real? Z doesn't look up. She doesn't flinch. Her hands keep moving with mechanical precision. For a moment too long, she says nothing. And then, just the smallest nod. Blackwood's breath catches. He steps closer, awe replacing certainty. Eagle Talon Division. You were Talon? That name hangs in the air like a thunderclap. Every soldier knows it, but no one speaks it aloud. Eagle Talon Division, the most classified unit in special operations history. A ghost force, whispered about in shadows, feared even by Delta and SEALs. Officially, they don't exist. Unofficially, they were legends. And every legend was supposed to be dead. But here she is, cleaning an Apache. Blackwood's disbelief spreads like wildfire. Soon, other eyes are watching. Whispers ripple through the hangar. Veterans pale at the sight of the insignia. Some instinctively straighten and salute before realizing why. Others back away in confusion, muttering prayers. Zephyrin never looks up. She keeps cleaning. Because ghosts don't announce themselves. Ghosts only wait for the moment they're needed. And on this day, the ghost has been seen. Stay with me. Because the deeper we go, the darker this story gets. The atmosphere in the hangar shifts like a storm front rolling in. One moment, it's the ordinary chaos of mechanics and pilots preparing for the day. The next, silence thickens the air. Soldiers whisper in corners, officers exchange uneasy glances, and everyone keeps looking at the same woman, the one they never noticed before. Zephyrin Thorne doesn't react. She keeps her focus on the Apache's weapon system, fingers moving with calm precision. But for those who are watching closely, her shoulders seem a little tighter, her breathing a little slower. The mask of ordinariness is slipping, whether she wants it to or not. Captain Reeve Calloway, the hangar commander, notices the shift, but doesn't understand it. He marches over, clipboard in hand, his voice sharp and dismissive. "Thorne, I need this Apache ready by 1400. Colonel's orders. And try not to screw it up this time." Z doesn't reply. She doesn't need to. Every aircraft she's touched has been flawless. She's never once made a mistake. But Calloway never cared about her precision. To him, she was invisible, a tool that didn't deserve respect. This time, though, people are watching, people who know what that patch means, and when Calloway turns to leave, he notices their faces mechanics stiff with unease, veterans frozen in half salutes, officers pretending not to stare. Something is wrong, terribly wrong. Word spreads beyond the hangar. Higher-ranking officers arrive, accompanied by men in unmarked uniforms. They don't introduce themselves, but their presence radiates authority. Intelligence, black ops, hunters among soldiers. "What's going on?" Calloway demands from a nearby lieutenant. The younger officer swallows hard, lowering his voice. "That woman, the one cleaning the Apache? She's wearing a Talon patch." Calloway scoffs. "That's ridiculous. She's just a tech." The lieutenant shakes his head slowly. "No, sir. If it's real, she's not just some tech. She's a ghost." The words chill Calloway more than he admits. Because every soldier knows the whispers about Eagle Talon Division. They were the ones sent where no one else dared go. Missions so classified they were erased from history. Operatives who became shadows, carrying secrets too dangerous for the world to know. And every single file claimed the same thing. Talon was gone. Wiped out. No survivors. And yet, here one stands. By late afternoon, the hangar has changed. The noise of drills and repairs continues, but voices are hushed. Every glance eventually drifts toward Zephyrin, who never once looks up. To her, the Apache still matters more than the whispers, but to everyone else, the world has tilted. Some of the youngest mechanics, the ones who mocked her as General Dust Mop, now sit stiffly at their stations, unable to joke, unable to meet her eyes. When she walks past, they straighten instinctively, as if their bodies know something their minds cannot yet process. The disguise is crumbling, and then the storm breaks. Colonel Austin Mercer enters the hangar. His presence alone silences the room. He doesn't come to hangars without reason. Every soldier knows that. He walks with purpose, eyes fixed on Zephyrin. For a long moment, he just studies the patch on her sleeve, face unreadable. Then he whispers to his aide. The aide hurries out of the hangar, running. Z knows what's coming. She doesn't flinch. She doesn't stop. But there's a new weight in her posture. The waiting is over. Minutes later, 3 military intelligence officers arrive. Their uniforms are standard, but their bearing is different, measured, predatory, watchful. They move to the exits, taking positions. The message is clear. No one leaves until the truth is revealed. Major Blackwood, the pilot who first noticed her, steps up to Mercer, speaking in a low voice. "Sir, is it really her?" Mercer's expression is stone. "We're confirming now." Pentagon is pulling the files. Blackwood glances at Zay again, awe and fear mingling in his eyes. If she's who that patch suggests, she should be running this base, not cleaning our weapons. Mercer's reply is quiet but heavy. If she's who that patch suggests, Major, there's a reason she isn't. The air feels electric now, the entire base holding its breath. Every movement, every whisper, every stolen glance is charged with tension. And then Mercer's aide returns. he whispers in the colonel's ear. Mercer stiffens. His expression shifts from skepticism to shock. He straightens his uniform and walks directly toward Z. The hangar falls completely silent. Even the distant sounds of aircraft seem to fade. He stops a respectful distance away. His voice carries through the air like a hammer blow. Lieutenant Colonel Zephyrin Thorne. The Pentagon confirmed your identity 20 minutes ago. Gasps ripple through the room. Mechanics freeze. Officers stiffen. Calloway goes pale, his clipboard trembling in his hands. Mercer continues, his voice steady. Each word a stone dropped into a well. Eagle Talon Division. Operation Midnight Protocol. 7 confirmed Deep Shadow missions across 3 continents. 3 Congressional Medals of Honor classified under presidential directive. The only survivor of the Samurand incident. Samurand, the hangar is heavy with silence. The kind of silence that comes when truth collides with myth. Z finally looks up. Her eyes are calm, but ancient. Harder than steel. Older than her face should allow. The moment Zephyrin Thorne speaks, the hangar is no longer the same. The ghost has stepped out of the shadows. Colonel Mercer studies her. His face a mask of control, but his eyes give him away. He's rattled. Around him, officers murmur, trying to reconcile the impossible truth. Eagle Talon was a myth, a legend buried under layers of classified files and denied reports, and yet here she stands, scars on her wrist, dust on her sleeves, the living proof of a story the Pentagon swore had ended in blood. Mercer clears his throat. Your team was ambushed during an extraction. Intelligence reports indicated a security leak inside Talon itself. Z's eyes sharpen. Not from Talon. From this base. Or rather, from the people who staffed it. 60% of your personnel transferred here from Joint Base Archer. Archer was compromised years ago. A ripple of fear moves through the hangar. Whispers. Uneasy glances. A few officers instinctively move their hands toward their sidearms before realizing how it would look. Z doesn't stop. She moves toward the Apache, fingers brushing the side panel as if the machine itself is part of her story. For 7 months, I've been tracking encrypted transmissions hidden in Vanguard's communication systems. Someone here has been selling us out, feeding classified flight patterns and mission data to a private military corporation. Colonel Mercer's jaw tightens. Which corporation? Her voice is low, steady. Obsidian. Hand. The name lands like a thunderclap. Veterans stiffen. Even Blackwood's confident stride falters. Obsidian Hand. Everyone in the room has heard rumors. A shadow network. A defense contractor that played both sides. Security for diplomats by day, arms dealers to enemies by night. Untouchable. Denied by officials. Hidden in plain sight. Zay continues, her tone unwavering. My team discovered them by accident during Samurand. We had enough evidence to bury them. That's why they killed us, or thought they did. The room is deathly quiet. Mechanics stare in disbelief. Younger soldiers glance at each other nervously. Calloway shifts in place, his earlier arrogance crumbling into unease. How did you survive? One of the intelligence officers asks quietly. Z's expression hardens. I was separated during the first strike. Fought my way back to the extraction point. By the time I got there, my team was gone. I found their bodies 3 days later. Her voice cracks just slightly, the weight of memory pressing through. But then her steel returns. I disappeared. Officially dead. For 2 years, I hunted Obsidian. Collected intel. When I traced their operations here, to Vanguard, I requested transfer as a technician. A low profile gave me time. Time to modify this Apache's systems to intercept and decrypt their transmissions. She taps the console. The screen flickers, revealing streams of encrypted data scrolling endlessly. This isn't just any Apache. This one carries proof of their network. Proof that will bring them down. Colonel Mercer leans forward. And now? Z's eyes lift to meet his, calm but chilling. Now they know I'm alive. As if summoned by her words, the air outside trembles. A deep, distant rumble rolls across the base, the kind of sound every soldier recognizes instantly. Explosions, sirens scream, red lights flash. The calm of revelation is shattered by the chaos of attack. Colonel Mercer snaps into command mode. All personnel battle stations. This is not a drill. The base erupts. Soldiers sprint toward defensive lines. Orders fly across radios. Gunfire cracks in the distance. Z doesn't move with panic. She moves with purpose. She's been waiting for this moment. Her hand dips into her toolkit, pulling out a hidden sidearm and combat knife from a false compartment. She loads the weapon with practiced ease. Blackwood rushes to her side, his face grim. They hit us at shift change. Maximum confusion. Standard Obsidian tactics. Z nods. Their primary strike team will be coming here for this Apache. How many? At least 20 operators. Former special forces. Well-trained, well-equipped. Blackwood swears under his breath. One Talon operative and a hangar full of mechanics won't hold against that. For the first time, Z allows herself a small smile. Who said we're going to stay here? The hangar doors rattle from a nearby blast. Dust falls from the ceiling. Marines rush into position, taking cover behind crates and vehicles, weapons ready. The ordinary day is gone. The forgotten technician is gone. The ghost has returned, and as the first wave of gunfire echoes from the perimeter, you realize this is no longer just a survival story. This is war in its truest, darkest form. The night explodes into chaos. Gunfire rattles across the base. The hangar shakes under the force of distant impacts. Sirens wail, drowning out shouted orders. Vanguard is under siege. Inside, Marines take up defensive positions while mechanics scramble for cover. The Apache looms at the center, its engines humming to life, its targeting systems glowing with encrypted streams. The very evidence Obsidian hand will kill to destroy. Zephyrin Thorn stands calm in the storm. For months she's been the invisible one, the ghost in the corner. But now, as bullets snap against steel and boots thunder across concrete, she no longer hides. She straps on her sidearm, checks her knife, and straightens to her full height. The black and gold Talon patch gleams in the firelight, no longer concealed. Major Blackwood rushes in, helmet under one arm, voice sharp. They're breaching the south wall. If they take the hangar, we're done. Z locks eyes with him. Then, we don't let them. Together they climb into the Apache. Ground crew scrambles, risking their lives under fire to power the beast. Through the canopy, Z watches Marines return fire, muzzle flashes, lighting the darkness. She grips the targeting controls, her movements precise, her eyes burning with purpose. Tower, this is Ghost One. Blackwood radios. Requesting immediate takeoff clearance. A voice crackles back through static. Ghost. 1. You are cleared for takeoff. Good hunting. The rotors roar. Dust and smoke whip through the hangar as the Apache rises, heavy and menacing. Below, Obsidian mercenaries storm through the perimeter, their silhouettes cutting through the smoke. They fire relentlessly, trying to bring down the aircraft before it can lift free. But the Apache doesn't fall. It ascends like a predator unleashed. From the air, Z sees it all. Fires spreading across the base. Soldiers ducking for cover. Mercenaries flooding in from every side. The battle is brutal, chaotic, hopeless. Unless she finishes the mission. Radar blares. Enemy helicopters closing fast. Blackwood grits his teeth. They brought air support. Z doesn't flinch. Then let's remind them who Talon was. She locks onto the first hostile chopper. The system beeps. The missile streaks out like lightning, colliding with steel and flame. The sky ignites. The second enemy aircraft veers off, retreating, but more are coming. Always more. Blackwood maneuvers hard, dodging a surface-to-air missile. Flares streak out, dazzling against the night, saving them by inches. Inside the cockpit, Z works furiously, pulling data streams, decrypting transmissions. Every intercepted file is proof that Obsidian has infiltrated governments, sold secrets, killed operatives, the kind of proof that could change everything. We need to get this to CENTCOM, she tells Blackwood. Reinforcements won't arrive in time. If Obsidian wins here, the evidence is gone. Below, the base is burning. But above, in the storm-lit skies, a ghost flies again. The Apache cuts through the darkness, heading east, carrying not just weapons, but truth. Z's eyes never leave the horizon. For 5 years, she hid in silence, carrying the weight of betrayal. Tonight, silence ends. Tonight, the world learns what she's carried all along. The mission isn't over. It's just beginning. And as the Apache disappears into the dawn, one thing is clear. The quiet woman, no one noticed, was the one soldier no one could afford to lose. Narrator's closing addressing audience. For too long, history has hidden its ghosts, stories of people who carried impossible burdens, who sacrificed everything, who disappeared so the rest of us could live. Zephyrin Thorne's story may be fiction, but its truth echoes in the shadows of every forgotten name. At Chronicle Hub, we bring those shadows into the light, because some stories deserve to be told. If this journey gripped you, don't let it fade into silence. Smash that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us, do you believe there are still ghosts like Zephyrin hiding among us today? Until next time, this is Chronicle Hub, where forgotten stories come alive.